Our topic is something that is timely and relevant. So before we proceed, let us first ponder this question. Have you ever wondered what it means to lead? And as we progress on our topic, you can answer this independently. In this session, we'll focus on four key points. First is to define core leadership principles, identify essential leadership traits, examine diverse leadership models, and lastly, apply actionable leadership strategies. By the end of our discussion, you'll have a clear idea of what leadership entails and the straightforward steps you can take to lead more effectively. Take a closer look at this word cloud. Each word here represents a quality that, when combined, forms the foundation of good leadership. In short, this word cloud is a concise visual summary of effective leadership. It tells us that leadership isn't about just one thing. It's a dynamic blend of clear vision, strategic thinking, integrity, and a genuine connection with the team. Together, these words define what it means to be a leader and offer a roadmap for anyone who aspires to lead, whether on a small project or at the ballot box. A true leader isn't bound by fate. They carve their own path and inspire others to do the same. Is leadership something you're born into, or is it a choice you make? Some argue that some individuals are destined to lead, born with natural charisma, intelligence, and confidence. They say it's fate written in their character from the beginning. But can we genuinely predict that someone will lead in the future just because they were born with certain traits? This is where the argument of choice comes in. While natural ability may give someone an advantage, leadership isn't just about talent. It's about decisions. A person may have all the qualities associated with leadership, but unless they choose to step up, take responsibility, and inspire others, they will not be a leader. Leadership requires action, effort, and continuous growth. So, what is the relationship between fate and choice? Fate may offer potential, but choice turns that potential into reality. Leadership isn't guaranteed, it's built. Whether you were born with certain traits or develop them over time, the actual test of leadership lies in your decision to take action and influence the world around you. And that's the challenge. Will you wait for leadership to happen to you, or will you choose to lead? Leading involves influencing others to engage in the work behaviors necessary to reach organizational goals. The definition indicates that a person or a group of persons tasked with managing group must assume the role performed by leaders. In engineering management, it is about guiding teams, shaping decisions, and driving progress towards technical and organizational goals. It's not just about giving instructions, it's about influencing and motivating people to work while fostering collaboration and problem solving efficiently. While leadership is the ability of an individual or a group of people to influence and guide followers or members of an organization, society, or team. Leadership is often tied to a person's title, seniority, or ranking in a hierarchy. Now, we proceed on the basis of power. We have five, namely legitimate power, reward power, coercive power, referent power, and lastly, expert power. Just a fun fact, we chose this fun background of Black Clover as our theme because it encapsulates our topic, which is leading. We put this so you can better visualize what we are implying. The background changes as we put them as we see fit from the description through slides after slides. Legitimate power. A person who occupies a higher position has legitimate power over persons in lower positions within the organization. A person with this power can invoke other characteristics to complement, strengthen, and empower their position within and with their subordinates. A great example is a company CEO with legitimate power over employees. Their positions allow them to set company policies, make executive decisions, and oversee operations. Employees follow their directives because of the authority granted by their role. So in the background is Julius Novachrono, the wizard king of the Clover Kingdom. His positions grant him authority over all magic knights, allowing him to make decisions that shape the kingdom's defense and future. His power is recognized and respected, and his leadership is based on his title and exceptional abilities. Reward power. When a person can give rewards to anybody who follows orders or requests, he is said to have a reward power. An example of reward power can be seen in how project managers motivate their team. A manager might recognize an engineer's hard work and innovation by granting them lead roles on high-impact projects, offering career growth opportunities, or public acknowledging their contributions. They also provide material rewards. In Black Clover, William Vengeance exercises reward power as the captain of the Golden Dawn, precisely a psychic reward, by recognizing talent and offering knights opportunities to grow through essential missions. His leadership fosters trust and encouragement, motivating his squad to refine their skills and advance in rank. Acknowledging their efforts, he ensures that Golden Dawn remains the strongest squad driven by excellence and loyalty. Coercive power. A person who compels another to comply with orders through threats or punishment. Punishments include like demotion, dismissal, and many more. In real life, coercive power is often seen in workplaces, schools, and even governments. For example, a manager might threaten employees with demotion or termination if they fail to meet performance targets. While this ensures compliance, it can create a stressful work environment and lower morale. Another one is the law enforcement, where officers use the threat of fines or imprisonment to enforce laws. This form of coercive power maintains order but can also lead to fear-based compliance. Marielena Vermilion demonstrates coercive power in Black Clover. Through her intense leadership style, she doesn't tolerate weakness and forces her subordinates to improve through sheer determination, sometimes threatening them with extreme challenges or exclusion if they fail to meet her expectations. Referent power. It is when a person can get compliance from another because the latter would want to be identified with the former. A highly skilled senior engineer known for innovation and problem solving may have junior engineers who voluntarily follow their guidance, not because of authority but because they aspire to learn from and be associated with their expertise. Their influence comes from respect and admiration rather than direct control. In the background is Yami Sukehiro, the captain of the Black Bulls. He earned the loyalty and admiration of his squad through his strength, leadership, and unconventional approach. His knight follows him because of his rank and because they respected and aspired to be like him, despite yung leadership niya is through unconventional approach. His famous motto, "Surpass your limits, right here, right now," inspires his team to push beyond their boundaries, making him a leader they willingly follow. And of course, lastly, expert power, where experts provide specialized information regarding their specific lines of expertise. An example is a financial analyst advising on investment strategies. An example is a financial analyst advising on investment strategies. Their deep understanding of market trends and economic indicators allow them to influence financial decisions, as others rely on their expertise to guide them. Another example of this is surgeon. Nat Faust, vice captain of Black Bulls, demonstrates expert power through his strategic intelligence and mastery of shadow magic. His abilities resembled advanced technology, enhancing movement, gathering data, and creating tactical advantages like modern systems. His deep understanding of devil contracts mirrors how engineers handle complex programming and cybersecurity requiring precision and expertise. But then, if we actually see this in a broad way, expert power can be anyone or almost everyone, as this comes from specialized knowledge and skills, meaning anyone who excels in their field, whether it's medicine, engineering, business, or the arts, can wield this type of influence. People naturally rely on experts for guidance, decisions, and innovations, making their expertise a source of authority and respect. So these are the bases of power. First is legitimate power, reward power, coercive power, referent power, and expert power.
The nature of leadership. It is the process of influencing and supporting others to work enthusiastically toward achieving objectives. Next, traits of a leader. There are 9 traits of an effective leader. Number 1, a high level of personal drive. Drive is a very important leadership trait because they are able to accept responsibility, possess vigor, initiative, and persistence. Personal drive basically means that a leader should be someone who takes initiative, someone who don't have to be forced before taking action because a leader is always ready to engage and lead people achieve their objectives. This also means having strong motivation and energy to reach goals and keep moving forward even when things get tough. Number 2, a desire to lead. Leaders with a desire to lead always have a reservoir of extra efforts which can be used whenever needed. To be a leader, he or she must want to be a leader. A leader is not someone who was forced to lead, rather, they take initiative and have the desire to lead. Number 3, personal integrity. A person who is well regarded by others as someone who has integrity possesses one trait of a leader. A leader should be someone who is well respected by others because respect is a thing that makes people obey them. In simpler terms, someone who earns the respect of people around him or someone who is responsible and consistent in his work. Basically, someone who is seen as a leader by many. Self-confidence. The activities of leaders requires moves that will produce the needed outputs. For the moves to be continuous and precise, self-confidence is necessary. Confidence makes leaders more sure of their decisions, therefore making it easier to plan and decide on things to do. This will make them avoid wasting time on things that are not sure of. Next, number 5, analytical ability or judgment. The ability to determine the root cause of a problem is a desirable trait of a leader, can use to conquer many challenges. This means that a desirable leader should be able to come up with an answer to a problem that occurred. They should be able to point out the cause of the disturbance to the operations they do, then proceed to come up with an answer. Number 6, knowledge of company, industry, or technology. A person who is well informed about his company, industry, and technology will be in better position to provide directions to his unit. Knowledge is power, a quote that tells us that information gives us the power to know things that others not know. Therefore, a leader must be knowledgeable about his own company to be able to lead, as it will give them the ideas on what to do and what to avoid. Because if you lead people without knowing much or without knowing anything, you'll fail whatever you are doing because you are not prepared to lead. Number 7, charisma. When a person has sufficient personal magnetism that leads people to follow his directives, which will help the leader in achieving goals. A leader should be able to attract others to be able to create a group of people made up of competitive and talented people. It is when you unconsciously draw people into you or you inspire people even if you don't intend to. Number 8, creativity. Ability to combine existing data, experience, and existing preconditions from various sources in such a way that the results will be subjectively regarded as new, valuable, and innovative, and as a direct solution to an identified problem situation. In simpler terms, creativity is a leader's trait where they can use existing ideas, then create a new way of solving problems. Creativity helps leaders see possibilities when they are faced with problems. Lastly, flexibility. People differ in the way they do their work. One will adopt a different method from another's method. A leader is a leader who allows this situation as long as the required outputs are produced is said to be flexible. Flexibility means being able to use your knowledge to a certain situations by adapting the best method you can think of. A flexible leader would immediately solve the problem then adjust according to the plan. Leadership skills. These are the skills that leaders should learn to become an effective leader. First, technical skills. These are the specialized knowledge needed to perform a job. These are skills that leaders possess to enable them to understand and make decisions about work processes, activities, and technology. These are the skills that leaders learn while training for certain jobs. The skills that will help them navigate the workflow of their team while making decisions that will help others perform their job. Number 2, human skills. Human skills refers to the ability of a leader to deal with people, both outside and inside of the organization. Good leaders must know how to get along with people, communicate with them, motivate them, and inspire them. These are basically a leader's skill in maximizing the usage of communication. These are the skills they use to negotiate with people either outside or inside of the organization. Next, conceptual skill. Conceptual skills refers to the ability to think in abstract terms, to see how parts fit together to form the whole. A leader without sufficient conceptual skills will fail to achieve clear and well-expressed presentation. These are the skills where leaders can see the whole picture. It is used when planning for a long-term project. Leaders are able to conceptualize whether the project will fail or succeed. Thus, they will be able to decide on things they need to improve on. That is all for my part. Next presenter, please.
Behavioral approaches to leadership skills. This approach focuses on what leaders do rather than their traits or personality. It studies how leaders behave when working with others, whether they focus more on tasks, relationships, or both. It's based on the idea that effective leadership can be learned by observing and practicing specific behaviors. Those in positions of leadership exhibit a pattern of behavior that is unique and different from other patterns. This total pattern of behavior is called leadership style. There are several approaches used in classifying leadership styles. They are as follows. Number 1, according to the ways leaders approach people to motivate them. Number 2, according to the way the leader uses power. Number 3, according to the leader's orientation towards tasks and people. Some leaders focus on tasks, getting work done efficiently. Others focus on people, building strong relationships and team morale. The best leaders balance both for productivity and harmony. There are two ways a leader may approach people to motivate them. They are number 1, positive leadership, and number 2, negative leadership. In positive leadership, this approach uses encouragement, rewards, and support to inspire people. Leader shows appreciation, build trust, and create a good working environment. This helps team members feel valued and motivated to do their best. While in negative leadership, this approach uses fear, pressure, or punishment to make people work. Leaders may give harsh criticism or threaten consequences. It can produce fast results, but often leads to stress, low morale, and poor teamwork over time. Leadership styles also vary according to how power is used. They are as follows. Number 1, autocratic. Number 2, participative. And number 3, free reign. Autocratic leaders. Leaders who make decisions themselves without consulting subordinates are called autocratic leaders. Motivation takes the form of threats, punishment, and intimidation of all kinds. The autocratic style is effective in emergencies and when absolute followership is needed. An example is a civil engineer in charge of constructing a temporary bridge over one that has been currently changed. The disadvantages of autocratic leadership is that the leader receives little, if any, information and ideas from his people as inputs into his decision making. Next, participative leaders. When a leader openly invites his subordinate to participate or share in decisions, policy making, and operation methods, he is said to be a participative leader. The advantage of participative leadership is that it generates a lot of good ideas. Another advantage is the increased support for decisions and the reduction of the chance that they will be unexpectedly undetermined. The disadvantage of participative leadership is that it is time-consuming and frustrating to people who prefer to see a quick decision reached. Free-rein leaders. Leaders who set objectives and allow employees or subordinates relative freedom to do whatever it takes to accomplish these objectives are called free-rein leaders. They are also referred as a laissez-faire leaders. This leadership style is most applicable to certain organizations manned by professionals like doctors and engineers. An example is the engineering department of a university which is headed by the dean. If free-rein leadership fits the situation, there is full managerial delegation resulting to optimum utilization of time and resources. This happens because many people are motivated to full effort only if given this kind of free rein. The weakness of free rein leadership is that there is very little managerial control and high degree of risk. If the leader does not know well the competence and integrity of his people and their ability to handle this kind of freedom, the result could be disastrous. Leaders may be classified according to how they view tasks and people. Consequently, a leader may be either be number 1, employee-oriented, or 2, task-oriented. Number 1, employee orientation. A leader is said to be employee-oriented when he considers employees as human beings of intrinsic importance and with individual and personal need to satisfy. The example of this orientation is a team leader regularly checks on how employees are feeling, gives praise for good work, and encourages work-life balance. When someone is struggling, the leader offers helps or adjusts the workload. Number 2 is task orientation. A leader is said to be task-oriented if he places stress on production and the technical aspects of the job, and the employees are viewed as the means of getting the work done. The example of this kind of orientation is a project manager gives clear instructions, sets strict deadlines, and closely monitors progress. They are more concerned about finishing the task on time than how the team feels.
Contingency approaches to leadership style. Fiedler's contingency model. According to Fred Fiedler, leadership is effective when the leader's style is appropriate to the situation. The situational characteristic is determined by the three principal factors. First, the relation between leaders and followers. Second, the structures of the task. And third, the power inherent in the leader's position. To be effective, the situation must fit the leader. If this is not so, the following may be tried. Change the leader trait or behavior. Select leaders who have traits or behaviors fitting the situation. Move leaders around in the organization until they are in positions that fit them. Change the situation. Why does behavior of a leader really matter in every and different situation? It increases positivity, a solution-oriented approach, better teamwork and relationships, and reduce stress. Hersey and Blanchard's situational leadership model. This model suggests that the most important factor affecting the selection of a leader's style is the development, or we called maturity, level of a subordinate. Maturity has two components: job skills and knowledge. We know that knowledge is a cornerstone quality that significantly enhances a leader's effectiveness, enabling them to guide their teams with expertise and strategic insight. Leaders who embody knowledge drive informed decision-making, foster innovation, and cultivate a culture of continuous learning and improvement. And also, of course, skills. Skills facilitates effective team dynamics, driving success, managing change, and promoting personal and professional development. And second, psychological maturity. Psychological maturity makes leaders tend to make more balanced and informed decisions, considering multiple perspectives and long-term implications. So let's move on the leadership style. Style number 1, directing. Best for individuals who lack competence but have enthusiasm and commitment. They require clear direction and supervision to get started. It is when the leader takes an active role in setting clear objectives and ensuring employees follow through on them. Style number 2, coaching. Suitable for those with some competence but low commitment. They need both guidance and encouragement to build confidence and restore motivation. In coaching, it helps people develop their personal capabilities, interpersonal skills, and capacity to understand and empathize with others. Style number 3, supporting. Ideal for those with competence but lacking confidence or motivation. Minimal direction is needed, but support is crucial to boost morale. And style number 4, delegating. It works well for individuals with both competence and commitment. They can manage projects independently with little supervision. In delegating, delegative leadership is considered less intrusive because it gives more control and power to the team. Hersey and Blanchard's situational leadership model. In development stage, first, low ability plus willingness. Second, low ability plus high willingness. Third, high ability plus low willingness. 4. High ability plus high willingness. So in style number 1, structure, control, and supervise. Style number 2, direct and support. Style number 3, praise, listen, and facilitate. Style number 4, turn over responsibility for day-to-day decision making. Path Goal Model of Leadership, developed by Robert J. House and Terence R. Mitchell. It suggests that effective leadership enhances subordinate motivation by shaping their perceptions of work goals, personal goals, and pathways to success. In Pathway Goal Model of Leadership, three ways leaders can motivate subordinate. First, clarify work goals, ensuring subordinates understand what they need to accomplish. Second, linking meaningful rewards with achievement, connecting goal attainment with valuable incentives, providing guidance on achieving goals and rewards, helping subordinates navigate the steps required for success. Rewards and recognition helps employees feel appreciated for their contributions and connect their personal values to the values of organization. So the pathway goal process. In first, leader identifies employee needs and appropriate goals are established, and leaders connect reward with goals and move to effective performance occurs. Employees feel satisfied and motivated and will go to a leader provides assistance on that path to goals. And last, both employees and organization achieve their goals. Leadership style, directing leadership where the leader focuses on clear task assignment, standards of successful performance, and work schedule. Supporting leadership where subordinates are treated as equals in a friendly manner while striving to improve their well-being. Participative leadership where the leader consults with subordinates to seek their suggestions and then seriously considers those suggestions when making them. Achievements-oriented leadership. It is where the leader sets challenging goals, emphasizes excellence, and seeks continuous improvement while maintaining a high degree of confidence that subordinates will meet difficult challenge in a responsible manner. Vroom's decision-making model. In Vroom's model of leadership, it is one that prescribes the proper leadership style for various situations, focusing on the appropriate degrees of delegation of decision-making authority. Decision-making style, 2 are autocratic, 2 are consultative, and 1 is group-directed. Decision-making style. Leaders solves the problem or make the decision himself using available information. Leader obtains necessary information from subordinates, then decides. Consultative leader. Leader approaches subordinates individually, getting their ideas, then makes decision. Consultative leader. Leader shares the problem with subordinates as a group, obtaining their collective ideas and suggestions, then decides. Group directed. Leaders share the problem with the subordinates as a group, lets the group generate and evaluate alternative solutions, and then collectively decides.
Before we end, we would like to end simple message. Don't complain about your weaknesses. Use them to become stronger. Adopt, overcome, and keep moving forward. Thank you.